guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. Just to let you know how the reading's going to go, we do your weekly check-in first. Then we have a look at more specifically your work, and we also have a look at your love life during the week. I'd like to say, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me this week for your reading. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. This is the 22nd to the 28th of June. Just to let you know, we're looking at, as usual, your general message for the week, your work reading, career, and also your love reading. So sit back, relax, enjoy, guys. Okay, Pisces, so we've got all the cards down. Let's have a look. So your general message is the Three of Pentacles. So something about work. I like this version of the Three of Coins because it kind of makes me feel like he's completed the job. He's showing proof of his work. He's finished. He's worked hard and he's completed. So it's almost like he's completed the work here, Three of Coins. But also threes are about growth and expansion. So this could be expansion or growth of finances. Money is the coin's energy, or a growth of work. Often you find a lot of Three of Coins. I used to read the Three of Coins, and I still do. It depends on what deck I have. It's people coming together, working together in teams, that type of thing. But the Three of Coins can, usually on a lot of cards, it only shows one person. So for me, this is hard work, but this looks like work completed. Let's have a look at the next one. So the Seven of Cups energy. It feels like there's a bit of an illusion here, though. The Seven of Cups could be a daydream. It's an illusion. It's something false often for me. So it almost feels like the message is something that you feel you may have completed here or finished in terms of work. It may not be right. It may not be true. I feel with the Seven of Cups energy showing here. The Four of Swords, though. The Four of Swords is a card about release and withdrawal. No action with the Four of Swords. Non-action is the Four of Swords energy. The King of Swords. So we've got an individual here, perhaps. King of Swords, somebody in a place of authority. The Two of Coins. Somebody in a place of authority, weighing things up. This is a really interesting one. It's a really kind of interesting mishmash of cards together. So let's break them down. The message this week is probably about work. The Three of Coins energy. Seven of Cups. I think there may be something being hidden here with both cards. I don't think that this is you completing something. I think it's something about your work, Pisces. There's something about your work here. And I think with the Seven of Cups aspected by that Four of Swords, both cards would indicate things that are hidden. Especially where the Four of Swords, where there's silence, there's no speaking, there's no communication. And the Seven of Cups is about this can be about a smoke screen. So it's almost like something to do with your work here. There's a bit of a smoke screen. Something isn't being said here with the Four of Swords energy showing here. There's something not being said. There are words that are not being delivered with the Four of Swords. It feels like it may be that somebody, a boss, this King of Swords here, it may be that this person here is trying to make a decision. They're trying to weigh things up. So I think the message is in work, something is being hidden here. It looks like it may be by a higher up, this King of Swords energy. Perhaps they're trying to make a decision, weigh things up with the Two of Coins. So this looks like it may be work related to me. What's going on in actual work, though? The Star. So something positive happening. The Star card is always about things that are positive, clarity, guidance. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, wow. You've got two wish fulfillment cards, Pisces. The Star and the Nine of Cups, both aspecting each other. Very, very positive. Wishes being fulfilled in work. Definitely. Star and the Nine of Cups. What's the next one showing here? Some good news coming in. Page of Wands. Good news coming in with the Page of Wands energy showing here. Wow. Two of Cups about an agreement. Some good news about an agreement, a partnership, a contract. Showing. Oh my goodness. Look at your work reading. Wow. That is phenomenal. That's really good. That is really good. So it feels like, I don't know whether this is anything to do with maybe you've been waiting on something to come. Maybe you've not heard anything because we've got the smoke screen and the silence here. Maybe there's something confusing concerning work here. Maybe there's been no answer or no communication, no action taken from this King of Swords. Maybe they're trying to decide something. So we could read it like that and say maybe in the general message for work. I think this may be for some of you guys who are waiting for a decision to be made, or you're waiting for some information either on maybe a new job or it's a promotion or something like that. This may be connecting in with these cards where in terms of a job, work, Three of Coins energy, maybe there's a smoke screen, things are hidden, or there is some confusion with the Seven of Cups energy. Feels like this King of Swords individual here is taking no action. It feels like this person, somebody's being really quiet with you. There's no action being taken from this individual. It might be that this person's doing this because they've got some decisions to make. They've got to weigh things up. Or maybe they've just been busy. But I think that that's the general message. But I think it may be factoring into this one, because in your work reading, we've got some very positive things happening. Dreams and wishes are being fulfilled. Star in the Nine of Cups. We've got a message coming. It's good news. Page of Wands energy showing here. It looks to me like it's over a contract, an agreement. This, because usually Two of Cups is new relationship. It looks like a new contract, or this could be a new job or a promotion. And there's lots of celebration here with the Three of Cups over that. So I would say probably some of you guys this week, you might be hearing back about a job. You may have got the job, because this looks like it's either a promotion you're getting or a new job with these cards here, which I think is very good. And finally, in terms of love, what have we got showing up here? Seven of Coins. So on the after tarots, I'm saying on all the readings, I always read just the illustrations. I don't read necessarily the general meanings, because some readers are reading these cards, which is fair enough. You read it how you want to read it. But some readers, I notice, read these cards like they'd read any of the other tarot cards, like the Rider-Waite. But the thing is, this comes after the Rider-Waite. So you have the before tarot. So this deck here is the before. That shows you what happened before this card, these ones here. So say, for example, this is one of my original Rider-Waite tarots. Okay, sorry, I use that for particular readings. All right, this would be what came before the events of this card here, and these cards here are what happens after the events of this. So you've got the before, the Rider-Waite, and then the after kind of the Rider-Waite. I know you've got the in-between tarot that came out, but that to me is, I'm not keen on that deck, and I don't think it was made by the same people, so I don't really equate that with anything. But this is sort of after this one here. So the Seven of Coins usually on this particular version of the tarot, the Rider-Waite, you'll find somebody who's waiting. They've done the work, now they're waiting for this, the seeds to bloom. Well, these is everything blooming. So really with the Seven of Coins, what we're finding in love as well, it's not just about waiting, it's also a card that represents, we've put the hard work in to a relationship, and we're now starting to see the results. What's the next one? The Magician energy. So the Magician is about having the tools, creating something new within the Magician energy. Magicians can also mean attraction. The Chariot energy. I think that this is a very good combination. Okay, we've got the creation card, the creative card of the Magician energy. The Chariot is moving forward. Sometimes the Chariot, though, can mean to be emotionally controlled. So controlling one's emotion. It's ruled by Cancer, so it can be to be emotionally controlled or to control one's emotion. Oh, you've got majors. All majors. Temperance is reconciling. Now that's interesting, because on this version we've got water being poured out here, and you've got a bird in flight here. So the download that I'm getting from this particular Temperance card here is that somebody almost has stopped trying to make something work. It's almost like there's been some form of like a cut in trying to reconcile. It's almost like letting the bird go free and just letting go of the water energy. Usually it's fire and water, isn't it? Temperance coming together, amalgamating together. But here it's almost like this angel here is saying, you know what, I think we've done as much as we can. I'm going to let this bird go free. So it's almost like there's a sense of release here. There's a sense of, instead of trying to reconcile, there's a sense, when I look at this particular version of the Temperance card, there's a sense of needing to release something here. Let's have a look at the next one. The Ten of Wands energy. So the Ten of Wands is trying to push things through. It's persevering. It's hard work. It's persevering even if things are pushing things through. But I get a sense here, Pisces, that there is a release here. Finally, there's a release, and almost like with the Ten of Wands, giving something up. Because it's almost like this person's really tired. They're like, I've pushed as much as I can. So this is what happens after the Ten of Wands, according to this particular version. We don't see this guy arriving at the house with the 10 Wands. You know, usually in the Ten of Wands on the Rider-Waite, you see the guy arriving at the house. You know, there's a house in the distance and he's got to get there. But on this particular deck, there's the house, but he's not at the house. He's kind of like, this is too hard. So it feels with these two cards, you're releasing something that was too hard. It's almost like releasing and just kind of giving up on something in love. The Seven of Coins, seeing the results for all of your hard work with the Seven of Pentacles. You can see the fruits of your hard labour and you're taking a portion of that. You're taking a portion away. You're taking one of the fruits of the tree showing here. And it's almost like you're turning it into something. So it feels like you're turning whatever that coin is there. Can you see it's there now? It's right there. And you've got now the sword, the cup and the wand. So the cup in terms of love is about your feelings, love. The wand is about passion. The sword is about knowledge, information, truth. So it's almost like you're taking your feelings, your passion and the truth, and you're taking that coin there and you're putting it there and you're juggling all of this stuff together and you're taking it and you're using it as a resource in which to move forward. Because I get the impression that you're actually moving on. Some of you Pisces are. Okay, now you've put all the hard work in there, but it's almost like you're taking a portion of what, because the Seven of Coins is seeing the fruits of your labour. So again, the Seven of Coins for me becomes a very neutral card in that fact that, you know, we put hard work into things and we then see the results of that. So those results, usually the Seven of Coins reverse means that the results wouldn't be as good as you want them to be, which is an interesting one. But we're taking the results. So he's seeing the results of all the hard work in his relationship and he's taking one. So the results, he's seeing the fruits of his labours. He's put the work into the relationship and now he's, you know, this is beginning to bear fruit. So he's taking one of the fruits out and he's putting it into this concoction here. He's mashing it all up and he's moving forward with it. He's moving forward with it with the Chariot. But he's also releasing something that doesn't work. He's also releasing something here that's too much hard work here. So how do we put this reading together for love? Because I think that it's kind of like a little bit of one side and a little bit of the other. On the one hand, I think that in relationships with some of you Pisces, you've worked hard and you're starting to see results of the work that you put into the relationship. And you're taking a little bit of that information, or you're taking a little bit, because it's a pentacle. So you're taking a little bit of that evidence, I would say, because pentacles are what you can see, they're what you can touch. So you take a little bit of the evidence and you're putting it in with the knowledge that you have in terms of this relationship, the feeling that you have for this relationship, the passion that you have for this relationship, and you're taking the seed, you know, what has come about from the seeds that you've planted. So the evidence, all of this stuff then, your feelings, your knowledge, your passion, the evidence, you know, the other thing, whatever that pentacle is. And I'm going to just ask, what is this pentacle that you're taking? What does the pentacle represent? What does this pentacle represent? We can see that the pentacle has been taken here and it's been put here. And we can see that Pisces is taking their knowledge, their feelings and their passion for this relationship along with the pentacle. What do you mean by the pentacle? What do you mean by the pentacle in 1 to 2 cards? What is it? So the pentacle is the Fool. So the Fool is the new experience, okay, and the Nine of Wands energy. But the Fool is outside of this. So the Nine of Wands is hanging on in there, but the Fool is not. Okay, the Fool for me is the card about releasing. Again, it's a card about freeing oneself from the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is kind of waiting. Often when I get it in a love reading, it's often somebody's waiting for something. But this person here is freeing themselves from waiting. So this is quite complicated in a way. Let's see if we can put this together. For love, Pisces, we have the Seven of Pentacles. We can see hard work has been put in. You've planted the seeds. And you can see that those seeds have now, you know, they've now bore fruit. So you're taking one of the fruits. And it's almost like this is a little bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a recipe. So you're taking something that has been born. And what has been born from the seed is the Fool. So I think that pentacle, whatever has been born, is giving you the ability to release something that you were waiting for. You were waiting for something here. That coin, so the fruit, the hard work, the seeds that you've planted in whatever, do you know what I think this actually is? This isn't a relationship. It's not. It's not. That work that you put in, let me just clarify. What is the work that Pisces put in? I don't think that that's a relationship. I think it's work you've put into yourself. What is the work that Pisces has put in? The Nine of Swords. So there was worry here. There was upset. Let's get the next card showing up here. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. So the work that you've put in is being able to release that Nine of Swords. Again, the Eight of Cups is a card about release. The Eight of Cups is Pisces. That's you on the card, actually, because this is Saturn in Pisces. Okay, so Saturn in Pisces gives Pisces the what's the word I'm looking for? The permission to release boundaries, to walk away from something that has been quite limiting. So to me, it looks like some of you guys, if we go back to the backstory, perhaps, Pisces, you were probably in a very limiting relationship, and you've planted the seeds now in this Seven of Coins. You put all the work in, all of that work in, and the work that you've been putting in is about releasing the worries, the Nine of Swords energy. So releasing Eight of Cups, the worries, the Nine of Swords. What was the worries about in 1 to 2 card? What were they worrying about in 2 cards? Let's have a look. The Eight of Cups. So your feelings, love. This isn't a relationship. This is feelings, love. Ace of Cups energy showing here. And the Ace of Swords as well. Okay, so perhaps with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, it's cutting away perhaps from a new love. Ace of Cups is new love. And the Ace of Swords can be cutting away from something. It is kind of downturn, like in a cutting motion. So maybe they're 2 new beginning cards as well. All right, so maybe the worries were about new beginnings, Ace of Cups energy, new love, Ace of Swords energy. Ace of Swords is a card about taking control, overcoming victory, success, power, taking your power back. But I think the worry was about a new beginning, because you've got 2 cards representing new beginnings, Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords energy. So putting a new beginning into action. But also perhaps new love here, Ace of Cups, and cutting yourself free from that, because the Ace of Swords can cut away from things. So it just feels like the work that you've been putting in is to release with the Eight of Cups the worries of that Nine of Swords showing there, because this was all about cutting yourself free perhaps from this new love. You've done it, and you've taken that, you've taken all of this, your ability now to free yourself from something. Because I think some of you guys were waiting for something. You were waiting. The Nine of Wands represents staying by your post and waiting. Staying in there like a good old soldier, Pisces. And I think that some of you guys were hanging around. It's like a hangman in a way. Hanging around and waiting for this relationship with this person. And I think that you put so much effort and work into freeing yourself. Eight of Cups, walking away from the worry that this energy brought to you. Cutting away from your feelings, or cutting off from your feelings. Ace of Swords can also be the cutting off card, and the Ace of Cups is your feelings. I think you had a great deal of feelings for an individual, and I feel that the work that you've put in, just to reiterate again, was that you were really worried with the Nine of Swords energy about cutting off from your feelings here. But the work that you've put in is about releasing all of that worry there and freeing yourself from all of this waiting, from doing the duty, that, as you call it, doing your duty for some reason. So maybe the doing your duty was staying in a relationship that you knew wasn't working for you. You know, maybe the feelings that you had here, if you were to go back into it again and just kind of read it, for example, say for example you were in a relationship and you weren't really that interested, Pisces, but the partner wanted you to be there, then the feeling may be of guilt. Because the Ace of Cups is simply the feeling. Let's have a look what that feeling is. What was this feeling with the Ace of Cups? What was this feeling with the Ace of Cups in one card? The feeling of what? The Eight of Pentacles. The feeling of, again, the Eight of Coins is a card about doing your duty, because it's hard work. It's a card about having to put your work in. Do your duty, put the work in. Just bash away at something. Bash away, bash away, bash away. So I think for some of you guys, this is all about you guys cutting yourself off from a relationship here, because you put this work in. The Seven of Coins is saying, I put the work in. I've now seen the results. Now, the work that I was putting in, Pisces, so Pisces says, the work that I was putting in was the work that I've been putting in is, let's get these cards correct, is cutting off the Ace of Swords from the feelings that I had, Ace of Cups, of having to put the work in, Eight of Pentacles, to a relationship, because I have been having Nine of Swords, where, if I can find the Nine of Swords, that is, yeah, I've been having sleepless nights. The Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords energy, over having to walk away. The Eight of Cups from this relationship. But, you know, really, the seed, the work, the results that I'm now seeing is that I can free myself from the duty that I feel that I'm bound to. Because if you get a 9 of Wands, it's duty as well. He's a soldier. A soldier would never desert their post. So it's a duty. So you guys are now saying, well, the seed that you carry therefore is actually what I now see through all the work that I've put in, and that I should really kind of cut away from the feelings that I had, that I need to do my duty. I need to put the work in because I was worried about walking away from the relationship. 9 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Now the results that I'm seeing is I'm free from that. The Fool. I feel free now to desert, because the Fool is the deserter of the 9 of Wands. I feel free now to desert my duty to stay in this relationship. So what I'm doing now with this freedom that I now feel, the Pentacle is the freedom. This is the experience, because Pentacles are the experiences that you have. The freedom that I now have in the Pentacle is I'm going to put this in now with the new ideas that I have, the new feelings that I have with the Ace of Cups, and the new passion and drive that I have with the Ace of Wands. And I'm going to juggle that all up like I'm making a cake, and I'm going to take all of those resources, all of those tools that I have, okay, all of those skills that I now have, that I've acquired through this experience, and I'm going to start moving myself forward. Because the Temperance card, and this is where it gets fun, because now we can see why these come in. Because what you're doing is that you're no longer trying to make something work, which is what the Temperance card would do. You're no longer trying to make something come together. What are you doing with the bird? You're setting it free, and you're releasing all the emotion over that. So releasing the emotion here and setting it free with the bird. Okay, because you can no longer carry this burden. You've just collapsed the whole of this. You can no longer carry the burden. You're saying, I can't carry this burden anymore. So this is what I'm going to do, which is really good. I don't think I'm going to go through that reading again. It was very, very long to go through. But yeah, just releasing the burdens, which is what this is. You're no longer trying to reconcile you in an individual. You're going to set it free. You're going to let go of the emotion, and you're going to let go of the burden, which I think is great. Let's quickly do this reading again before we go then and do the spiritual reading. So Pisces, for the 22nd to the 28th, general reading. I feel that some of you guys, it may be something to do with work. It's a little bit of confusion here. Feels like this person is, somebody's not saying something to you, and it feels like it's because they're trying to weigh things up. Maybe they're trying to make a decision here. It might factor into the work area here, and it may not. But in work, it's really good, because what we've got is the Star and the 9 of Cups, a dream coming to fruition, good news. They're possibly to do with a contract, an agreement. There's a celebration over this with the 3 of Cups energy. Okay, so contract, agreement with the 3 of Cups, but also celebration. So this is really good. Could be a promotion, could be, you know, you're reworking some terms of your employment, or it could be, you know, a new job, which is fantastic. And finally, in love, we've got you guys bearing fruit. You've put hard work in, and it's bearing fruit. The hard work that you put in, remember, was about cutting away from your feelings. Those feelings were that you had to put more effort into a relationship, more hard work. But I think that you guys were, because you guys are worried, 9 of Swords, anxious about 8 of Cups, walking away from a relationship. But I feel that the seed, the fruit that is now being born from all the hard work that you've put in, is that you're simply able now to free yourself from the duty that you feel towards this relationship. You're taking all of this stuff now, this new knowledge, Ace of Swords, this new feeling, Ace of Cups, this new drive, Ace of Wands, okay, and also the Pentacles, this new experience, and you're taking all of this resource, all of this information, and you're moving forward with the Chariot. You feel now that you can release the emotion. The emotion in that cup there was probably the guilt, and set this free with the bird, with the dove, okay. So white represents purity and new beginnings, so you're setting something free. You're kind of you're kind of eradicating the guilt that you've been feeling, and you feel free enough as well, I think, with that 10 of Wands energy, to release the burdens and the guilt that you felt over it, because 10 of Wands also means embarrassment and guilt. So you're releasing all of that, which is good. Let's have a quick look at your spiritual advice. So spiritual advice, Pisces, is a new day. Wow, isn't that incredible? A new day, and it's saying it. There is a new day. There's a new day going on within work. Not so much in the general, we have to see what happens with that, but definitely within work and definitely within love, there's a new day. And it says here, let go of what was in order to make room for what's to come. It may be time to release, and we could see that. You are releasing. Some of you guys, a relationship that has run its course. You found it difficult, but it's time to do it. A job that's lost its luster, or a depleting commitment. The past is over. What's done is done. Acknowledge the feelings, learn from the experience, which I believe that you've been doing in this area here as well. And give yourself permission to release any negative emotions or guilt. Well, there you've got the guilt being released here. You release 10 of Wands is guilt as well, so you're releasing the guilt. When one area of our life falls apart, new opportunities fall into place. Amen. Wonderful reading. Love it. Absolutely love that reading. And look how everything just fell into place there. Amazing. So that's your reading, Pisces, for the week. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you'd like your own private reading, click on the link in the comment section below or in the end screen. And have a great week, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, my lovelies. Bye-bye.